What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin podcast. Andre, how you doing?
I am doing great. Just spectacular.
Hi, Vikki.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for joining.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you. So, what y'all been playing?
Well, I've been playing Shinobi Art of Vengeance as well as Ninja Gaiden Rage Bound. So Ninja Gaiden Rage Bound is good. Get that game. Get it. Get it.
So hashtag Joe Musashi for Smash and hashtag Ryu Hayabusa for Smash, right?
Nah, I think this one's Ken. This one's Ken.
Ken. Well, both of them. All three of them.
But just everybody, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Vikki, what about you? What you been playing lately?
I've been playing Rune Factory.
Which one?
The latest one. What is it? Something Tales of Azuma. Something
of Azuma. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay.
Rune Factory 6. I was gonna say 6, even they say it's not 6. Whatever, it's 6.
Yeah.
Like, did you fall from the sky somewhere and lose your memory? Yes. Rune Factory 6.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, they all start out the same way.
Yeah. And then I'm playing another game, but like I took over running a grocery store from my very shady grandmother who's doing backroom deals. I don't know what she's doing. She said her husband left her, but there's this like noises coming from
where do you be finding these games
in her backyard, and that's always locked, and she said don't go in there, and there's rats everywhere throughout the whole village, and everybody's like they're fine. I'm like, are you not concerned about the rats? And they're like, don't go up there to this shady fog, and there's the government, oh, don't look that way. And then there's like backroom deals going on between the factory up north and like the supposed governor of the town. I don't know what's going on. It's a bunch of shadiness.
This is the video game equivalent of a soap opera.
Yes,
where
it is. Listen, I thought it was going to be a simple time management game. I was going to run my grocery store in peace. People come in, they're like, there's a curse upon this place. I'm like, what is going on?
I just got here.
She's stealing sheep from the farmer. It's like, I don't even know. I'm like saving sheep that he then wants to kill all of them. And then he's like, no, then I'll just make cheese. I'm like, what is happening? So, yeah, that's called discounty.
That sounds like too many emotions.
Yeah.
And that's somebody's fever dream.
I know.
It is. And it's like the cute little 2-bit art style. So it's so adorable. But at the same time, I really think my auntie's going to kill me in my sleep. I don't know what's happening. Or if I'm going to find her dead husband's skeleton in the in the shed in the back. I don't know. And then the water's contaminated and it turned pink. And like, so the birds are drinking from the bird feeder. And she's like, yeah, it's all right. They're just birds. I'm like, these birds are going to turn and pick out my eyeballs.
Zombie birds.
Yeah, I don't
find some interesting games. I swear you find interesting games.
Tried to find something that was just going to be peaceful, and it turned out to be horrific.
But I'm a cozy horror streamer, and this is definitely, I don't know what's going on. It's definitely cozy, but mystery. I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Was not expecting that. But I've been playing Shinobi. Finished up the Trails from the Sky demo. I might have to go and pick that up because I know that physical's probably gonna run out quick. So I'm probably gonna have to wind up picking that one up. Got back into Doom: The Dark Ages and Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves. So I've been bouncing back and forth. So first things first, before we get into the whole Star Wars Outlaws Switch 2 thing that I think is hilarious that people straight up jumped the gun on that one. The James Bond State of Play for First Light. We did that one. We did live reaction for it. Wanted to get you guys' thoughts on it. It looks good. It looks crazy, but it looks like it could be fun.
Yeah.
And I'll put it like that. That's the quick and easy way to say it. I do like that it's more on the funny, the funny side of Bond instead of the whole Daniel Craig, I'm a homicidal maniac Bond.
Run into walls.
Yeah. Like, and then still trying to act like he ain't dislocate every bone in his body. But that's what they wanted for realism. Whatever. But I actually like the fact that it feels like the old school crazy Bond instead of the, homicidal maniac Bond. Vikki, did you get a chance to see that? Or
I ain't gonna hold you. I was like, nah. Okay. I ain't gonna watch it. I was like, you know what? Like, that's the game I'll play because my friends are playing, so I'll pick it up to play. But at the same time, I'll be mad that I spent money on it because we're gonna play it for 2 days and then put it back down, and then I'll be mad. I'm like, no, it's not a free to play game, is it?
No, it's a game.
No, they need to make it free to play. Just make it free to play. People will buy skins and things and whatever else. That's, get us on the microtransactions, because
I don't know if I agree with this. I don't agree with this route. I don't agree with this route.
No. I can't go with that one. No, not that one.
Look, I am not buying James Bond skins to have a Sean Connery and a Pierce Brosnan skin played in this game.
People will. People will.
Yeah, I do know they will. They might still do that anyway while making a paid game.
Yeah, listen, I don't even want to because I don't want to pay for the game. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't want to pay for the game, so if it's free to play, I know I ain't never gonna buy skins or the Game Pass or whatever else they're trying to sell me. So go ahead. I'm trying to cheat my way out of it because I will not buy the skins. So make it free and I'll play it. And I'm gonna be mad because it'll be like so many other games that I paid for and they just sit there and I'll be like, man, I could have did something else with that $80.
I mean, you can always wait for it to go on discount.
Because it'll probably be on discount by, let's see if it comes out, let's just say it comes out next March, it's going to be on discount by Memorial Day weekend. On one of them crackhead prices, like 85% off. Yeah. They're trying to move units.
Well, then that's when I'll catch it, because ain't no way. Ain't no way. Because, I'm tired. I'm tired of paying for games that I paid for 5 seconds and then it dies. Especially like those type of games.
Oh, okay. That's why I've been liking the demos lately, because as long as I can play the demo and I can find myself enjoying the demo, if I enjoy the demo, there's a pretty good chance I'll pick it up. So
yeah,
there's that. Hopefully we get one for that one. But any other thoughts you got on Andre?
I mean, now I know when we did the live reaction, I was kind of critical of a lot of stuff just because of how weird it was. But it's because it was in the moment. And I was thinking logically. Now, turning off logic to play this game, I will have a lot of fun with it. Now, whoever's doing the gameplay demo, horrible shot. But if I'm playing that game, I'm blowing up every canister I see that has a bunch of people near it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to spawn.
I'm causing mass destruction.
Yeah,
I'm going to be playing this game like it's Just Cause.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be nobody chasing me to the plane. Yeah, they all gonna be dead. Chasing me to the plane. Damn that. Like, if you trying to chase me, you gotta have to drive through a wall of fire. And unless your name is Sephiroth, I ain't gotta worry about you.
I mean, you ain't really gotta worry about them anyway because they got stormtrooper aim.
Basically.
Dude shot the thing and it rolled over and killed him. I'm like, okay.
Or the whole, balancing yourself on top of an airplane as it's actually ascending.
Or being in the cabin when the door pops open and not just getting
yeah. But the other two guys did.
Which made no sense because they were further away from the door.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's been a while since we got a Bond game. We're getting a young Bond fresh out the Navy, so this should be interesting.
We're getting Nathan Bond, like I said.
Yeah, somebody already made that joke, and I think one of the developers was not happy about that.
It's their fault. They made him
like y'all did that.
He looks like Nathan Drake. That's their fault.
The whole thing with him falling out of the plane and diving, I'm like, dude, that's Uncharted 3. Come on, dude.
Like you got this. That's Uncharted and Saints Row. Like,
yeah. So you took that from that. You can't get mad that people started doing that. Like, you really can't get mad at that. But yeah. Okay, so the grifting that has been going on this past week that I thought was hilarious was for the Switch 2 version of Star Wars Outlaws. Apparently the game runs great on Switch 2. Apparently. But you wouldn't be able to tell that because supposedly it was horrible and there's no way anybody should be playing this game if you listen to, your favorite online influencer, quote unquote. Hey, look, man, the gameplay I saw it looked good. Now, everybody know that game had problems because, like, when that game released, that game had a plethora of problems. Everybody knew it was horrible across the board, even on PC. It was horrible. Give her that tablet. So people already knew it had issues. So I guess they just assumed it was gonna have issues when they did a Switch 2 version, I guess. I'm guessing that's what they thought. So I just thought that was funny just to see gameplay of it. And then people like, hey man, this game ain't half bad. Like, what was y'all playing? This game ain't half bad.
I think people just remembered how they played it when it originally launched and just went with that because they assumed that's exactly what was going to happen.
And it wasn't going to be patched or anything like that, which I don't.
They're trying to sell the game. Of course, they're going to attempt to improve it.
One would hope.
Look, it launched in a bad enough state that they had to attempt to improve it.
Plus, you got Disney breathing down your neck.
I think the other problem is a lot of people were touting, at least for the Switch 2, was that it can't. This game's got ray tracing baked into it. It's ray tracing baked into it. So
Switch 2 does ray tracing.
It may have ray tracing, but it can't do ray tracing well. It can't do ray tracing well. So,
if the PS5 has trouble running it, how is this going to run it?
Right.
Optimization. That's how. You know, the thing you do when you make something work for the thing it's going to or the thing you're supposed to do. That's how. That's why you can have a game that's on worse hardware that actually performs better on the worse hardware than the better hardware.
Mm-hmm.
But
look, the hilarity of the whole situation is awesome, especially when you see the gameplay.
I have not been touting this since 2021 now. I haven't been saying that. Not at all. Nope.
Which does bring up something funny. I'm trying to wait for Shadow to show up because I do want to talk about that. So we'll come back to it about that whole optimization thing. But I still think it's kind of. I understand how some people can say that, especially if you bought it on like the PS5 or the Xbox Series X or PC and it didn't work and you put it down and didn't come back to it. Like I did that with Cecil, what was that game we was playing on that was Square Enix published it.
You talking about I know what you're talking about. It's the looter shooter.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk?
Not that one.
I was thinking of a game that came out.
It's the multiplayer. It was the multiplayer.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Where they had the bad cornrows and everything.
Yeah, no, that. Yeah.
Oh no!
But I remember. Yeah,
there was one class that didn't even work. Like they had 3 classes. One class didn't even work.
One didn't even work
because me and Sandstorm tried it, and it was like the game kept crashing. My game kept crashing. I think you got farther than I did, Sandstorm.
Yeah,
but it still crashed on you. So, but once you move from that class, the game ran perfect.
Yeah,
or close to it. Anyway.
Well, depending on what hardware you
were. Outriders? Was it Outriders?
Yeah, Outriders.
Yeah, that was it.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
that's it.
So I put that down and never went back to it. I put it down and never went back to it. So I can understand if somebody like, okay, I got my PS5, I'm gonna get Star Wars. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm gonna get Star Wars Outlaws, and then they played it, and I'm like, man, this is some BS. and I'm not waiting for them to patch it and went on to the next thing. Because, like we've all said, there's so many games dropping. It's easy to put something down and not come back to it for like 6-8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot,
it's
a couple years actually.
Yeah, it's too
Forget you even got it.
Yeah, you forget that you have it.
I bought a game twice.
Yes,
that's how bad I forgot that I had it. Like, oh,
I ain't gonna lie.
Why can't I install this? They're like, you already own the game. What you mean? I'm like,
I've had to give away I've had to give away game codes because I've accidentally rebought the same game.
I got a couple codes for people. I gotta sort them out because I'm like, damn.
So Shadow, glad you're here. Let me go on and pull this up because you know what I want to talk about.
Yeah,
summons. Where is that?
KI in the chat to do it every time.
Well, look, I put it in the main one and in mine.
I appreciate it. Double summon.
Okay, so back on the optimization point. A couple weeks ago, the CEO of Epic, Tim Sweeney, basically, for lack of a better word, said that, look, the reason why your Unreal Engine 5 base game ain't running smooth because you're not optimizing. And it needs to be done in the development process.
I'll just clean my glasses like Kevin Samuels on that one. You already knew. Everybody that follows me on my channel knows what's going on there. I've only been saying this for the better part of 10 years now. So that's just what it is.
I find it funny because I know me and you said it, and I know Andre said it. We was like, dude, y'all do know Unreal Engine since 3 has been scalable.
Mm-hmm.
So optimizing should not. You should have had that in mind from the get.
Mm-hmm.
But you got developers complaining, and he just straight up called. To me, it's kind of like he throwing shade. Like, nah,
like,
this ain't our fault.
Don't blame us.
Fault. Yeah. This your fault. You need to optimize it.
Look, don't blame me because you don't know how to use the hammer.
Isn't it funny how everything comes to a head at some point? Because this same guy, this Tim Sweeney guy, was the same person who stood in lockstep with Klinsky, Cliff Blazinski, I'm sorry, in saying that, Nintendo platforms just aren't in our wheelhouse or whatever. Like, and
their money dried up.
Ever since Switch, because money talks, right? They've made Nintendo the target platform inside of Unreal by default. There's no extra work to be done. There's no whatever, blah blah blah. And now, since somebody tried to go back to the well to use that same talking point to say, hey, Nintendo hardware isn't capable enough to use this, and now he's like, oh no, Switch 2 from the beginning was going to be supported by Unreal Engine 5. As a matter of fact, the OG Switch is supported by Unreal Engine 5. Mm-hmm. So what are we talking about here? And usually what it is, it's not really a developer that makes these complaints or whatever. It's a spokesperson inside of the studio or whatever. It's never, developers are too busy coding, right? They're too busy writing code. They don't have time to step out and say, you know what, let me make this statement real quick. It's either the project manager, the manager of the team itself, some PR guy for the development studio, or the publisher themselves saying that a lot of the times. It's usually a representative from the publisher that speaks on behalf of the developers to make these quote unquote complaints or whatever, because they're pushing something out of the door, which is the real problem. It's the publisher not giving enough QA time for the product to meet cert, really, right? Or they'll promise that they do these certain things to meet cert. Nintendo reps check off on it because they did promise those things or whatever, but everything else is broke. Then when they push it out there and Nintendo audience is like, why would I buy that when Nintendo makes complete games? Then they have backlash towards the consumer and say bad consumer. So it's just a weird cycle right now. A lot of times I would like to be wrong. But I've been saying this for a long time that the elephant was in the room, and you're talking about fixed hardware. It's never been a situation where the hardware is the problem. The only variable is development cycles, tools, and the code itself. That's what changes every game.
Or the talent of the team. Because
every game is not a benchmark because every game is different. So if all the hardware is the same and all the games are different, what's the variable in that situation? So in trying to break that down to people, they still want to say, well, if this game was ported bad, whatever, it means the system couldn't run it. Like that's like saying the car can't handle the turn because the driver was bad or the driver's new. The car can make the turn if the correct driver's in the seat, right? What are we doing? Like, especially when you know the car can make the turn, you look at all the specs, you can see the speed, you know the handling, you know the gear shift ratio and all the other kind of stuff, to where it can make that turn not only in low gear but also high gear. Like, if you know those kind of things, and there's white paper documents that exist for said hardware, whether it be a car or a console in this case, or anything comparable to said console, then why would you magically think now that a game could be a benchmark to determine that something's not possible when we have NVIDIA themselves saying ray tracing is possible on this hardware?
Right.
And for whatever reason, there exists idiots on Twitter and elsewhere that say, well, since this game is built for ray tracing or whatever, it's not possible on Switch 2. And I'm like, it has RT cores. They're literally being used so you can use voice online. Like, it's blocking out stuff. It's using the RT cores to block out sound in the background. How are we not understanding that they're using them? That for whatever reason, it became a thing where this hardware is here, and for whatever reason, Nintendo bended, or for whatever reason, like, it just doesn't work. It's there, but it's disabled. I don't know, the links that people go through to default to Nintendo can't do it, or my feelings are hurt because these games are showing up and they should skip that hardware. Like, I don't understand where the excuses are coming from, especially when they start to look comparable. I guess that's one of the other things too.
But then you complain about you're not getting a sequel. But you're not buying the game, you're buying it used because you can't afford it.
And so when the developer says, now the developer says, well, we're going to go ahead and cater to the Nintendo audience too. Now you've been out of shape, but you didn't buy the game when it was on your platform. So if Astrobot shows up on Switch 2,
you can't get mad.
Who you going to blame?
Yeah, you can't get mad.
Who you going to blame? I bought a copy. Still haven't played it yet, but...
That's what I said. I thought it was hilarious just because I think a lot of people gamers who are actual gamers and not looking to trying to fit in have been saying that since like the Wii U, especially since Wii U, because Wii U was when the first time that lie got pushed, and you're like, bro, this is a straight out lie. But then again, I go back to, I remember Kazuhiro Harada was trying to explain to people about rollback netcode, and people called him a liar. And I'm sitting here like, just because you listen, and no offense to anybody that likes Maximilian Dood, I think he does good stuff for what he does. But because that's your favorite dude, that does not make what he says true. Yeah. That's why I kept making all them jokes about the best way to fix everything in gaming was rollback netcode. Why do you think I kept making those jokes? Because
Max is not a developer.
Yeah, he would say that, and then people would go around believing it, thinking it's like some switch you can just turn on, and then the online just magically works. I'm like, bro, it don't work like that. No. And Harada broke it down like, look, you have to plan for this stuff. You have to do this at the beginning, and people called him a liar. And I'm sitting there like, the guy who makes Tekken 8, the Tekken series, you're calling him a liar.
Yep.
Wow. And that's when I realized, I'm like, bro, these influencers got a little bit too much doggone power, because like, I don't know of any game that Maximilian Dood coded.
It's what happens when you give fanboys of any type of clarity or whatever too big of a microphone. And I'll say that I even police my own audience when it comes to that, because you got some Nintendo YouTubers out here too that are being extra and saying things that they're like, oh yeah, you shouldn't be. Like, understand everything comes with limitations, right? Like, Series X is not going to run every game that PC maxed out or whatever, and it shouldn't, because it's not designed to do that. Yeah. And neither will Switch 2. So like, saying things like, I mean, GTA 6 is not going to run on Switch 2 in 4K. I mean, that should be a given, right? Yeah.
but I promise you, it's probably not going to run on PS5 and 4K either.
Exactly.
Not at 60.
It's probably not going to be above 40 frames per second. Either.
Yeah.
Get 4K 30.
Yeah.
I remember that email I got about Marvel's Avengers from Square Enix talking about, hey, look, if you want to play this at 60 frames a second, you got to play it in 1080. If you want to play it in 4K, it's going to be locked at 30. That's an email they sent.
The PlayStation 5, the SoC for that was stamped in 2019. Right?
Yep.
Released in 2020. That's old architecture. Like, you can't expect things out of it that are, and in addition to that too, like, people just don't know. Like, that's not a desktop class CPU in there either. That's a tablet CPU in there.
Yep.
They had to do that to save die space for the GPU, because the GPU was the biggest part of the SoC. So you're not getting Zen 2 desktop class, whatever. Like, you don't even think about server class, even though, Microsoft tried to like use that framing or whatever. And they were like, so what are the actual cache numbers? And they're like, well, there's so many megabytes of cache across the entire SoC. No, CPU. What CPU? Just CPU alone. And then they never responded to that. And obviously, we found out the truth. There's around 8 megabytes of L3 going across the board, which is substantially lower than anything desktop class or workstation class or server class at that point. So we're dealing with a tablet variant of CPUs across all these platforms. So when it comes to CPU logic, Switch, Series X, PlayStation 5, they're all the same thing when it comes to that, because you're not going to get above tablet performance out of all of those. Now, with regards to GPU, what was that?
And you don't want to pay for that other stuff.
No, you don't want to.
People act like they got all that money to go. No, you're not. You're not spending no $1,000 for no PS5 Pro. You're not.
No.
And you know how loud the PS4 used to be, right? Is that how loud you want your PS5 to be? If you had a 22 nanometer part, like, as a CPU in there, like, do you really want that? Like, what are we really asking for?
They're not going to put a jail system in your doggone console.
Exactly.
They're not going to put a water cooler in there in your console. So
yeah, it's not happening that way. So yeah, so I just feel that people need to be in tune with reality, regardless of whether that's for or against your bias, right? I like to tell the truth regardless of whether it benefits or hurts Nintendo. So yes, it's a lower TDP device, right? But within that lower TDP device, it can do things well above what people expected from the last generation with Switch, right? So within the same power envelope, it's overkill for 1080p. 1080p. Nobody said 4K. Somehow that conversation goes from, hey, look at this Street Fighter 6 game in 1080p that looks really good, and it has all the features of the 4K version on another platform or whatever, right? To being, the Switch can do that same game in 4K. I don't know how anybody ever said that. So, but it ends up being that for whatever reason. If you say, hey, this game looks really good for what it is, and this port looks really good for what it is, it becomes I have to defend PS5 and Xbox for whatever reason. And no. And even if I say, hey, look, it looks really close to what those do or whatever, and in some cases looks better because AI upscaling shows more detail than the native render on the other platform, then people get bent out of shape. And I'm like, look, if the average person looked at these and they're not looking at a 4K screen, like, they can't tell the difference between the 1080p output on PS5 and the 1080p output on Switch 2. And that's just facts. Like, the average person is not going to be able to tell that. If you're a keyboard warrior, sure, maybe you zoom in and you see one detail and then you go,
They can't.
And they can't either unless Digital Foundry tells them, which is bewildering to me, because Digital Foundry can't even tell when AI upscaling is enabled.
Yeah, they get it wrong all the time.
You can't tell what's the difference between 30 and 60 frames a second half the damn time. If we're being honest,
I think the Star Wars Outlaw situation illuminated the biggest thing, and people probably didn't pay attention to this, but I did. So John Lemon from Digital Foundry has a contact with one of the studios, and he's talking to them after the fact about the game, and he's asking them about different things. So this lets me know that they don't really even know what they're talking about. So they ask studios behind the scenes how their game is running before they write a piece. So when they talk about, hey, this is here and this is here, matter of factly, without knowing whether or not it's there or not, it's because they're talking to the studios on the back end. And sometimes that's ahead of time and is before the game is final. So by the time they have their stuff ready for publish, some things they might have taken out before the game went gold. So they'll say, hey, well, this game is running, 6 frames per second and it has this or whatever, or it's running this native. They have to go back and change everything because the version that everybody got that they purchased for didn't have that. So that kind of let me know that that's what's happening behind the scenes. They're actually talking to studios. They don't really know what's happening in these games just by looking at them. They have to ask. They have context in the background, and they don't really know the tech like you think they know it, which most people don't. You can't just look at pixels and know how it was generated. You can kind of have a guess, but you don't really know. And for all the tools that they have, we have those same tools. I can run TR drop myself. I don't need you for that.
A lot of that stuff is freeware anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just you can get it. I mean,
I don't need Microsoft Paint. I can open up default image editor, or matter of fact, I can just read the specs of any image that is brought over to macOS, and I can read that in terminal and know what the dimensions are. I don't need to count stair steps. I
just find it funny because y'all know how I feel about the whole. Oh, I can tell when something's 60 frames a second. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't tell unless you got a tool that's actually showing you. You can't tell by your naked eye. You do not know.
And even if you could, right? If you could count the frames, you'll have a real hard time counting what type of frame pacing is going on in that game.
Yeah.
So, and I found it funny that this same outlet gave Mario Kart 8 originally on Wii U so much hell for having one copied frame for 59 frames per second. And they talk about frame pacing in every other game as if it's okay. They're like, oh, this has good frame pacing. Oh, you mean copied frames? Yeah, because if you have good frame pacing, that means you're copying frames to make sure that you're not losing any of the 60 frames or the 30 frames so it doesn't look disjointed, if you will, right? So if you're copying frames, if you're talking about frame pacing, then why was all the drama going on about Mario Kart 8? So you're saying sometimes it's acceptable and sometimes it's not.
Which that should be across the board. Yeah. And not just for the people that gave you a paycheck. That being said, so Vikki, I got a question.
What's up?
Have you seen the trailer for Chronos: The New Dawn?
No, there was something else I watched. That's why when you said that, I was thinking of this horror game that has like a similar name. And I was like, wait, y'all talking about horror games? But I realized, no, y'all talking about something else. So
it's dark themed. So it's pretty close.
Oh, maybe
it's in there.
Oh, maybe it's the same thing then. Because I was like, oh, there's this horror game, but maybe.
It wasn't us who brought the change to the world of people. The place is heavily affected by the oddities. I will need counter-gravity traversal equipment to reach it. When they merge, they become stronger.
Follow your purpose. Gather the other essences. What are you doing?
Preserving. Such is our calling.
Oh, that's out now?
Yeah, it came out the same day Hollow Knight did.
So,
okay.
Vikki, how long do you think it's going to get you to take before you get Jack to play that?
I don't know. Like it looks kind of what's that game? Dead Space. Yeah. You know he ain't playing no horror games. He all scared.
Yeah, he's absolutely not.
Like, he don't never want to play no horror games. He's like, I mean, at some point, I think he'd be blocking me on stuff, so I can't even talk to him. I'd be like, dang, bro, I didn't know it was like that. So
just until a certain period of time,
then I get unblocked. Like, all right, she ain't gonna ask me about it no more. So you know, it is what it is. But I don't know. Lately, it feels like a lot. The better quality horror games are in on Steam or in like the indie space. You know, like the more, you know, like I don't want to look at the horror game and automatically think of another game and be like, oh yeah, that looks like blah blah blah. So I mean, it looks cool and all, but how much they got? How much they charging people for it? What was the price point?
I think it's 40 or 60.
I think it's 40.
Bloober Team isn't that big, so I don't think that game is that expensive.
No, because they're kind of like an indie.
They're like a middle ground.
They're like a middle ground,
but they're that mid level. Like they're not. They're not 2 people, but they're not the big guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they get their staff is somewhere around between 20 and 30.
Price point.
Oh, $59.99.
Oh hell nah! I am not buying that. Big rocks.
It looks good though.
I'm not paying 60. I'm not paying 60. Let me tell you, right? How I bought that Tales of the Shire game, and I want my money back.
Oh wow!
That was $40 worth of foolishness. I wanted to throw it out the window. So I'm being real selective of what I'm paying for, and they ain't gonna get me on 60.
Look, you gonna catch it on sale somewhere.
Yeah. I'm about to, like I said, like stuff gotta be on sale because what we doing?
I feel that.
In this economy,
there's a recession.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on Woot for like $30.
Right, that's true. Some CD keys or something. Like, hold on, let me just take a moment.
Okay, so the other game I want to ask you about is Little Nightmares, because I know you played the first one, right?
I'm getting that. Oh, you know, for sure. And Jack ain't gonna play that. But it's a cozy horror game, and it's like, you know, 2-player now.
Cozy horror.
Yes.
Cozy horror.
Yes.
That's actually a genre now.
Horror that you play to relax.
Snuggle up with your person and scream all night long.
Yeah.
It is because it's adorable. It's cozy horror. It's the epitome of cozy horror.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little Inferno.
I think cozy horror is 2 things. I think either we together playing that game, or it's going to be super cutesy and then turn around and scare the crap out of people like Kirby does.
So it's both. It's co-op. So yes, it's 2 people playing together, and then stuff is going to jump out at you and scare you. Yes.
Because I think I played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
Yeah. No, I played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
I played the second one. The second one's good.
Yeah.
So I may pick this one up because that's October 10th. That one comes out October 10th.
Yeah, I knew it was soon because we were waiting for it. They announced it like a year or 2 ago, and we all just been waiting on it. And I think they've released some other game by the same company, and we're like, it's not what we want.
It looked just like it too.
But it wasn't that. And so I almost bought that one because I thought that's what it was. I'm like, no, this ain't it.
That's why I was like, oh wait. I was like, okay, never mind. Let me get this.
It's a side story.
That's exactly what it was. So I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold on. And as soon as the Little Nightmares, a friend of mine who lives over in London, we're gonna play it together. So it's just, but obviously she's 5 hours ahead, so the time is gonna be wild.
That's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, I had to ask you about those because I know those are coming up, and I want to get back into playing some horror games, but I wanted to let it breathe a little bit first. So I don't know if I might pick up Chronos at a later date just because I had too much stuff came out.
Yeah, 60 is strong though. 60 is kind of
right.
For a new game on the system.
And is there a physical copy of this or?
I think so. Yeah,
there's physical out. But see that therein lies the problem because like with the physical, if you want to go physical. The problem is you gotta have to buy it within like that first month and a half because if you don't, there's a pretty good chance if it blows up, you probably ain't gonna find it, and you're gonna have to wait for them to do second and third prints, and they may not do it. Just because
Bloober Team isn't all that big.
Yeah, and it's understandable. I mean, but with Acclaim coming back and maybe a couple others, because I heard rumors that a couple other mid companies are coming back, we may get to where they'll start doing that.
So
hold on.
This game is a game key card, so that means I
don't care.
Oh yeah, I gotta get it. Means
I gotta get it.
I gotta get it now. I gotta push everybody off. I gotta get it now. I gotta get it now. I'm finna make
troll
everybody mad. So No, yeah. At this point, yeah. At first, I wasn't gonna do it, but you know what? Since people want to call people toxic for doggone getting the bet.
Whatever happened to that Sega Genesis
collection? We don't know. We don't know.
Well, actually, the first one was Shinobi.
Yeah, Shinobi was the first
Art of Vengeance is actually the first one. I don't know what the other ones are going to come out to.
Where's my Golden Axe? I want a 4-player Golden Axe.
That's what I was thinking that was going to be first.
Well, Golden Axe got to give you more than 3 characters for you to get 4 players.
They can give me one of the thieves. I don't care.
One of the thieves.
No. Arcade had 4, didn't it? Or was it 3?
It was 3.
It was those.
I mean, but there was more than one Golden Axe. You know, you can slide another one of them characters in there.
Whoever.
Warrior, dwarf, and then the girl, right? Like, yeah.
But you technically could have more characters because of the Sega Saturn fighting game that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
So they could easily pull a character type from there and throw them in
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm happy. Like, but just come on. That's all I'm waiting for. Like that's what I will buy day one.
The only other one that I've heard about is Crazy Taxi, and that's because they was trying to make that like a live service game, and people shot that down real quick. They shot that down quick. So they had to rework, because I think Crazy Taxi was going to be first, then Shinobi, and then I think it was Streets of Rage, and then Golden Axe. But then they had to switch it because of the whole backlash they got when Crazy Taxi, people found out that Crazy Taxi was supposed to be live service. And
no, just make the game.
Just make the game. Is what
if you want to give me DLC cities, fine. But don't do. I ain't playing that live service.
Live service don't. I don't know why.
Look, I'm gonna
live service make money like that.
I'm gonna have to pay money, real money, to get a fair end game. No.
Yeah.
Hell no. Pay real money to get fake money. No.
And it's supposed to be an arcade style game anyway. Crazy Taxi is supposed to be an arcade style. It's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I feel you on that, Vikki, because I was still going back and watching because for some kind of way that popped up in my queue on YouTube this week. That
talked about it.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell? So I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, that Golden Axe, the 30 seconds they showed the Golden Axe, that did look good. I'm like, bro, where is it at? Like, why? And that was I didn't know that was 2019 when they did that trailer.
Really? You know what?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and get on Twitter. Send them a tweet like, "What you doing, bruh?" And then let me find the Steam page and email the developer. I email developers. I'm like, "What happened to this game? What are you doing with it?" And they respond though, like legit, y'all. Like, if there's a game that you like on Steam that just says TBA or coming soon, email them. Be like, "Are you still working on this?" They're like, "Oh, we actually don't have any more money." And they'll be honest, like we lost our funding. And I'll be like, "All right, but if you ever do, like, shoot me an email. I'm here to support you."
Just so you know, we went broke. So
yeah.
Look, they can be honest. They can be honest person to person, but public they can't tell you.
Yeah, no, they can't. But I'm like, all right, I hear you. I understand that.
Shadow, you got a question, but I'm going to tell you right now, they done lost their ever-loving mind. But Shadow,
So $1,300 for a device that excuse me just a second here. So this is what I'll say. Whatever this device is, see how it runs Star Wars Outlaws and see if it's worth $13. Because Switch 2 is just fine at $450. It's just fine. And the Ally X, like a couple people have already tried that, and the performance is not there. So take any handheld PC that you like, regardless of price, whether it's new, current, or older, and just try to get it to run that game and see what it comes out with. If it is 60 frames per second, then maybe it's worth the $1,300. But if you got to pay $1,300 to get 60 frames per second for this game,
I would still say that's not worth it.
Yes, the price to performance ratio is not there. In addition to that, you don't get on Nintendo games. So I don't know what to tell you.
Have y'all not seen tariffs? That $1,300 probably gonna go up in the next couple months.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Y'all saw what happened with Sony. Sony had to up the price and people got mad. I'm like, dude, y'all know why these prices are going up.
they got mad because they touted that it wasn't happening. And I was like, they raised their prices twice before that happened.
Yeah, before. The first time they did it, they were just talking about doing it. The second time they did it because they were like, we don't know what this gonna do. So yeah, we gonna have to let's go on and get ahead of it. So the initial people getting mad will just get over it by the time it actually hits. And that's what they did. But I'm like, bro, everything's going up because of stuff that's happening of current events, and I'll leave it at that.
So I think I'll do a video about that at some point because I don't care about my follow count. So I don't know. I'll just say all the things and then go from there, and then people can respond accordingly. I think that'll probably work for me.
The battery life is less.
Under 2 hours, they done lost their mind. $1,300 2 hours. Okay, yeah, bet. All right. But then again, you know what? I was telling people that I was like, dude, if you watch if you got a new phone and you watch Superman or Thunderbolts on this in 4K, your battery gonna die.
Yep.
Like quick.
Yep.
So, because I got 4K on this Samsung 23, I can watch Superman or Thunderbolts on this in 4K. I promise you, my phone will only last I'll probably have 10% left after that movie's over with. If I don't put the charge in.
By the way, as an aside, not to change subject too much, but I remember like previously the conversation kind of extended the steam a little bit. So just before I joined the call here, I was prompted to join the Steam hardware survey, right? And I'm looking here. I guess the good thing is people finally migrated to Windows 11 a little bit, so that there's 60% of people using Windows 11. The fact that another 40% are still using Windows 10 is a little bit concerning to me, but it is what it is.
If I could still use Windows 95, I would. I
think that's most people.
That's most people, yeah.
I think that's most people. But I guess what's crazy to me is most people are still only using 8 CPU cores, and 6 is the most common at 29%, and VRAM. 8 gigabytes of VRAM is a whopping 35% of the overall audience on Steam. And the resolution, the primary display resolution,
1080p.
Is still 1080p, 54%. So when people tell you, what they want to do or whatever. Now, I guess the other big thing is what I hate about other people is your total hard drive disk space is over 1 terabyte because these games are getting so bloated or whatever. But the biggest thing to me that I found out that was interesting was the biggest configuration for system memory is still 16 gigs. So we're in a situation where, you're still operating within a 16 gigabyte budget, 8 gigabytes of VRAM and things of that nature. So under 32 gigs of total RAM, even if you have an integrated GPU, it's totally fine for most games. The majority of games are way below the threshold of what people are trying to promise. And getting a GPU with 24 gigs of VRAM and whatnot, more than likely today, is not going to be used unless you're just trying to overcorrect the game and run it in 8K or whatever.
But so, Starfield is not at 32K.
I mean, yeah, it's got to be, 16K was sold last gen because Sony had those cameras for film 8 years ago. So why should
we have to use James Cameron's cameras just to do this game? I don't
every single time. What do you mean you only ray tracing shadows and light? You gotta ray trace everything, not only reflections. You gotta ray trace subsurface scattering. You gotta ray trace the ray tracing. You gotta have everything, man. Why isn't your ray tracing?
Why is your ray tracing only? Why can I only tell you got ray tracing on water?
Yeah, that's it. No, one surface, only one surface, bro.
Water and glass.
We need ray tracing.
We don't have ray tracing on skin. We need that. Man.
When I play,
as Fangirl Reviewer say, the melanin. We need the ray tracing for the melanin.
When I play NBA 2K26, I need to see the sweat beads form.
Yes. I don't want the Shaq NBA 2K1 sweat to be that fake. I need the real sweat.
I need to be water.
Yes.
I need somebody to pour water on their head.
I need to see the fear on Shaq's face as he prepares to fail this free throw attempt.
Yeah.
That's the true hard game, by the way, Vikki. That's it. Shaq making free throws. That's the hard game.
That's very true.
Nightwolf, I have no idea. I have no idea.
It's there. I didn't know it was there. The YouTube app is there. I thought just the Switch one was still running.
I think it's just Switch one. I think that there was an article that said something about a Switch 2 YouTube app, but I haven't heard anything about that. So
yeah, it's the Switch 2 trying to run the Switch 1 YouTube app, and people are having varying degrees of success. I'm guessing with that. I don't think there's a Switch 2 one.
Yeah, not at this point. It'll probably come later, but I don't think they're worried about that right now, to be honest. Yeah. So there was one thing that I did want to touch on because I messed around and finally changed my battery out of my 3DS.
Nice.
It took me a year, but I finally did it. So started back playing like Kid Icarus Uprising. Why hasn't that game been ported to a home console yet?
I don't know, but that game is great. I think it looks lovely.
Yeah.
Plays well if you have the second analog stick, but yeah, that game should be ported to something, I would imagine. Yeah, but I like the 3D in it though.
Yeah, I don't need the 3D. I just need the physical controls.
Tell me why I just remembered. Did I beat Fantasy Life, the new one?
You said you were at the end last time we talked.
I totally forgot all about that game. Oh dang. Okay.
Yeah, because you and Jack had put like a whole bunch of hours into it, and Jack said he finished it, but you said you were at the end.
Yeah.
You didn't finish it, did you?
I can't even remember. That's a damn shame, ain't it? I play these games, I get to the very end, I'm like,
and then stop.
I'm done.
Don't feel bad. That's me and Stellar Blade, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, but I keep doing it.
It's DLC? I'll beat the DLC, but not beat the game.
Have I beat Yeez 8 yet? Nope. Still not. Still haven't done
it. You're at the door, right? You're right at the door.
I will not ever beat it. That game will live on for forever. I will die, and the game will still be on my save file.
Well, I mean, games exist for stuff like that, so you don't feel so bad. You know, like Starlight Valley or Dreamlight Valley or whatever. Those exist, so that's fine. Animal Crossing, you don't have to. And even if you quote unquote beat it, like you invite people to your island or you wipe your island and start all over.
Yeah,
it's all vibes over here.
Or leave your island for months on end and come back and weed everything.
And you got roaches in your house. I'm like, dang, that's messed up.
Yeah, I think they need to do the multiple save thing for Switch 2. I think they should do the update for that so you can have multiple saves, and then that way you can like go back and forth between each island or whatever.
Now that I think about it, I wonder what they got cooking up for Animal Crossing on Switch 2 because they made a boatload of money off the Switch one.
You know it's coming, but I feel like it's only gonna come if there's a Switch 2 Lite. Because they gotta hit that price point. And it's got to be like, hey, this is my little thing. I'm just going to take out the door or whatever. And if I lose it, who cares? It was less than $450. Yeah.
And I give it to my kid. Like, who cares? Yep. You know, my 7-year-old can beat it up and it'll be fine.
Yep. Tariff-proof, if you will.
But watch who wind up playing it more than the kid. The parents. Sure.
Listen.
Hey, give me.
How about that fight? You know what? I'm going to take the Switch Lite. Give it to me. Hey, baby, get my save file and just make sure you make sure you go to my island and just
My wife said I couldn't even start my own save.
Yeah,
she said I could. You can't. That's my game. You can't. So can I log into yours? Sure, but I can't create my own. No. I'm like,
you better not. You better not. You better not.
I was having design contests.
Yep.
Listen,
people were doing whole YouTube interviews in there.
I mean, well, during the height of the pandemic, that's when people was going on dates.
Yeah,
and recording it.
Facts.
And you would sit like you and your two characters would sit on the bench and watch the stars.
Watch the sunset.
And
giving each other gifts.
Wait a minute. We were supposed to boycott that game, right?
Yeah.
That's what the game's for the boycott, right?
Oh, what was the boycott about it again?
I forgot. All I know is it was like the fastest selling Animal Crossing.
I think it actually had to do with the fact that they said that once they were done with it, that was it. There was nothing else coming.
Yeah.
Even though they still had updates for it.
Yeah, man. People like I swear people don't understand what boycott means.
I think they were just saying there wouldn't be paid DLC. I think that's what they were trying to say. And that's and they were right for that. And there was massive support for it after the game came out. At least for the last the 2 years it was on they supported it. So
but it was just funny because it was that one supposed to get a boycott. Every Pokemon game supposed to get a boycott. And every time there was a boycott. Oh yeah, Bayonetta. Every time it was a boycott, fastest selling one.
Yep. Switch to a whole ass console. Boycott. Drop the price. Shimmy.
I gotta give it to the people though that was out there trolling. Raise the price.
Yeah.
Y'all did. You got it to happen.
That was funny. That was hilarious.
Unfortunately, Sony took note too, and they're like, "Oh, we could do that." Oh, Jesus Christ! They not playing.
Look, they already knew they could do it. They've done it several times with their fan base,
and they act like they didn't care. Okay, yeah. This is the last thing I want to talk about. So apparently, a report came out saying that Take-Two tried to purchase the Perfect Dark reboot. My problem was this. My problem was this. Why did Microsoft talk to Free Radical? If you know Free Radical, the guys who made Time Splitters, they were from the guys that made GoldenEye and Perfect Dark.
Yep.
So if you were going to talk to anybody, I would have never went to Crystal Dynamics to begin with. I would have went to Free Radical.
Free Radical because OG Rare is dead. Yeah. So go to Free Radical, and worst case scenario, if you can't do Free Radical, then you deal with a certain Metroid Prime developer. You talk to them.
I'm trying to figure out why you went to Take-Two in the first place. What was?
Yeah, that's wild.
I want to know what were they trying to make that cost that much money? Were they trying to do an open world Perfect Dark?
Looking at the demo, it was just gonna be Perfect Dark. It's just we got a real big story. You're able to do like some limited CQC combat and also shooting. And you got gadgets, which is what Perfect Dark is about, right? I don't see how you turn that into a live service game. I don't see that.
My thing is, what was they spending their money on? Now I know they had to do a restart because I know the art director left, the director left, and one of the writers left.
You think maybe it might have been a
scalebound situation?
The Halo developers before they left. Probably. Maybe they had some input on it.
Well, I know the project. I don't know, man. It's to me, I'll put it to you like what's the Snipe said about Blade. It's not rocket science. It's just an action movie. Like Perfect Dark is not rocket science. It's just a straightforward. It's basically a James Bond video game set in the future with Joanna Dark, and all you got to do is just make it like a fake James Bond movie.
Girl James Bond. Elvis can have the humor of the American Dad alien and go for it.
That's it. And then just,
are y'all talking a little too woke for me? Like, what?
The main problem is that they tried to turn Perfect Dark into something serious, and everybody can see that. Perfect Dark was never serious.
Yeah,
it was never especially Elvis.
Yeah,
Elvis was never serious.
But even the game that nobody really wants to talk about, Perfect Dark Zero, wasn't serious. So, it makes no sense to try to turn this into some big budget blockbuster. And that's never what it was.
Yeah. But that's why I was like, why are y'all taking it to them when Free Radical still exists? And at the time, because I don't know if they're still around, they were trying to get Time Splitters 4 up and running. And nobody would jump on it. But I was like, I would have went and talked to them since they're the team that did it initially. Members of that team was the team that did it.
Question: what happened to the team that did what's the free run game back in the day?
Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, where's that team at?
EA's
I mean, you was dang near close to that anyway.
Yeah.
They already had 2 successful games in the franchise, so
and EA asked them anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they at. Like the only reason why I know about Free Radical because that's where most of them went when the sale to Microsoft went through, and they were just like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." And
They
they
nothing started Free Radical.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they started writing on the wall like, "Nah, this ain't gonna work. This, the money look nice, but this don't seem like a good idea." And
and they were right because everybody else that went on were making avatars for like 5 years.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, okay, but I just thought that was like weird. Like, why in the world? I would not give that to Take-Two. No. I'd sell it back to Nintendo before I give it to Take-Two. I'm like, nah, hey, y'all take y'all stuff back.
That's probably what should happen. Like, just rare,
or at least that rare catalog, the rare catalog that they got, just because they ain't using it.
No, they're not.
Yeah, like we should be on Jet Force Gemini 3 or 4 by now.
And there's value. There's value just reselling those on Nintendo platforms. Like, there's value just in that. You don't even have to like make new games. You could just re-release those as Switch 2 projects or whatever, and they'll make money. People will buy them.
I mean, I would buy a true Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Simple.
Yeah.
I just don't. They'll probably mess with Marvel and DC though, because they did a number on the Matrix. That was hilarious.
Yeah, and today I don't know how they get away with that without working licensing deals, because they would definitely sue.
I think it would be one of the situations where they'll probably be in on the joke. Like, it would be a Deadpool situation. Because, like, I would have thought Ryan Reynolds would have got sued personally by now. How he be going at WB.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
The stuff he be saying, I'm like, bro, God, don't.
He's asking for it.
I know you upset, but damn.
He just wants to win the parody argument in court. I think that's what he's reaching. Yeah. He wants that to happen so bad.
I think that's why nobody's going after him. He's like, no, we ain't giving you that win.
Yeah. Because when he wins, it's gonna be the next Deadpool.
Yeah.
When he wins, I mean, hell, Deadpool and Wolverine in the first 10 minutes, what he said about Fox, I'm like, bro, okay, so that's what we doing. All right, this is how this movie gonna go. That's just one of those situations. I saw that and I was just like, okay, if y'all don't know what to do with Rare's with the Rare games. Sell them back.
Yeah, exactly. That.
If you don't know what to do, because I never understood why you made that Rare team that you bought do avatars when they have that list.
Yeah.
That portfolio. You made them do avatars for 5 years.
Sidelined them.
Like,
that's so bad. I'm just thinking about all the different indie studios that would have done that for way less money.
Because we would have been on Killer Instinct 5 or 6.
Yep.
We would have been on Jet Force Gemini at least 3 or 4. And you would have thought they would have took Jet Force Gemini since they was the shooting. They the dude bros. Now you got one you could sell to parents. Right?
At this point, I'll take a grab out of Ghoulies remake. At this point, I just don't just anything that Rare originally did, like, you know. And you try to create a brand new game or whatever, right? Was it Everwild? I think was the name of it.
Yeah.
And Rare wasn't even aware of the game being a game. Like
when you go and you're at E3 and you're showing your studios off, and the people you got talking about the game look dead into the camera and say, "We don't know what this is," but that's you got a full trailer for it.
That's funny to me.
But then we had people a couple weeks ago get mad that the game got canceled. Like, how you gonna get mad about a game they don't even know what it is?
I mean, is it really canceled if it never really existed? I mean,
it had a trailer for it.
At least Perfect Dark existed somewhat.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the problem with Perfect Dark was they probably should have never put that trailer out in 2024.
Yeah,
because that wasn't gonna. They knew that game was. They knew that game was over budget then. They shouldn't have put that trailer out.
I think it's a couple of good studios artists talking about Killer Instinct. There's a couple of good studios. They could really just go back to Double Helix again. And
no, Shadow. You give it to the one person. We give it to the one person that we know will troll the hell out of everybody. Masahiro Sakurai.
Oh yeah, that he would.
Oh boy, he would have a field day if you gave him Killer Instinct.
Yep. And then Fulgore and Smash. Let's go.
Yeah, bruh, is the shots he would be taking. People.
Man. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, that would work. Because he would, and it wouldn't matter. Amazon does still own Double Helix.
Yeah, they own Double Helix. I don't know what they're doing with them, though.
I don't know how there's still a studio because Amazon doesn't have any. Luna is all but dead right now. I think they still have their game library thing is still there, but they don't have the streaming thing anymore. I think you can just re-download if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
When Stadia went under, I think that's when that whole thing went to bed.
Yeah, that's so weird. And people are asking if it's completely free. It still exists. It's not dead yet. It's still a monthly subscription. It supports Macintosh. Good for them. Luna controller is still $60. They're still selling it. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's absolutely crazy. But whatever.
Dark Angel, I don't know the answer to that, but the last I heard about it was they did re-up. Microsoft did re-up the licensing for a lot of those in that rare retro things. I don't know which ones they did though. That's the thing. They didn't say which ones. They just said that the article that I read said that they had re-upped them. It's kind of like what Nintendo did with Eternal Darkness.
Yeah,
like they keep re-upping the license, but ain't nothing being done with it. So
Nintendo's just trolling me with that with Eternal Darkness.
At this point, I think because the last time they re-upped it was I want to say a year and a half ago, and that's when I was like they're probably going to bring it to the GameCube, and that's so when they do it, and that's probably what I'm thinking.
I was tripping because the last time they re-upped it before this, they did it just so they could make Alexandra Roivas a card in Smash Bros.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, because it's what 28. That was 2018, and then I think they did it again in 20.
That hurt my face.
Yeah,
I think it was 2022 was the next time they did it, and that's why I was like, okay, they're probably doing it because they're probably going to try to if they do a GameCube NSO, that's probably what they're going to do, and I think that's probably what they're doing.
Yeah,
that's the only because Dennis Dyack has been trying to get them to support doing a HD remake and do a part 2 to it, which I'm like, I don't know how a part 2 will work nowadays.
There's no part. There's only Mantarok. There is no part 2. Just Mantarok.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. After you play the whole thing, he's the only one left.
But that's how you can do a sequel because you can spawn that off if you wanted to. So he had some kind of idea, but he didn't say. But I'm like, okay. But at this point, I'm just like, since like there's a whole bunch of other because Chronos just is using that kind of insanity type thing. So I'm like, I don't know how that's gonna go nowadays, but whatever. That's the only thing I can think about with Eternal Darkness. So with the rare stuff, I don't know. It's one of those situations that I'll use a football analogy when they were like, well, how the Patriots just grab people just so other people wouldn't get them.
Yeah.
Like the whole Randy Moss thing. Like they got Randy Moss and Ocho Cinco because they didn't want to have nobody else that to get them. Kind of like that. So, but that's how I think that goes. But all right, peeps, we're gonna call it a night. Thank you everybody in the chat for coming through. We really appreciate you. Thank you to everybody coming through and hanging out with us tonight. Andre, you got anything you want to pimp out?
It's just a few recent videos on my channel. It's finally alive again. Slowly but surely breathing once more.
All right. Vikki.
As always, come on by Fangirl Review on Twitch. Yeah, I don't know when I'll stream. Just turn the bell on because I lie to myself every day. Oh, I'm gonna stream today. That's a lie. I even sat down and went through my emails and made a spreadsheet for every stream key that these developers done sent me. It was disgusting. Did I stream any of them yet? No. So I do plan on being better at streaming. Hopefully, at least aim for once a week. That's just my goal. So come on by. I'll try to do better.
Okay. All right, Sandstorm. What about you?
Yesterday we talked about the state of play on the Stormcast with James Bond, which looks like looks excellent. We also talked about the whole Star Wars Outlaw situation, and game developers and the excuses and kind of that whole cycle of people treating the Switch like a game of billiards. When you see the shot and the shot don't look right, and then you like the shot don't seem right, and then the shot go in and you like good job, but if you miss that next one though, then it's not strong enough, it's not powerful enough. So the in Shadow Fox terms, the goalposts move. So yeah, if you want to check out that, definitely check that out. And then yeah, here on Saturdays at 7:00, Stormcast on Saturdays at 7:00, here on Sundays at 7:00, and then tomorrow is the Jill podcast. I'll probably be on. I should be on. That's at 7:00 as well. And that's all I got.
All right, Shadow.
All right, Shadow Fox Prime, Shadow Fox Infinite, Shadow Fox Arcade Destroying Souls on Twitter. Yeah, so channel dead according to Twitter anyway, but y'all can look on there. Apparently, people really like one YouTube short I did about the GameCube tray. So I guess keep liking that video. I don't know. I don't know why people keep watching it, but people keep watching it. So, but yeah, I'll have content up this week, believe it or not, and I'll probably be doing a stream on the middle of this week as well. Ask me anything, so look out for that, and then just hop on and ask me whatever you want. We'll go from there. I appreciate donations, but I won't be doing super chats or anything like that because I don't believe in any of that. So if you want to donate to the channel, you know how to. I'm not going to social intelligence, and we'll go from there. Also, make sure you subscribe to everybody you see on the panel here right now. I think the view counts and some of the sub counts are way too low for the content that a lot of these people put out. So make sure y'all sub to them and then go from there. And yeah, if you see me on Twitter, just cry for the person that is daring to oppose me. That's about it.
All right. I did put some gameplay up of Trails in the Sky demo. Check that out. I'm gonna try to get some more gameplay footage because they just dropped Forsaken 64 on NSO Mature 64. I never played that game, so I want to give that a shot. Yeah. I want to give that a shot, so I'll probably put some gameplay up of that next week. As soon as I get me a newer game capture card, I'll go back to live streaming. But for now, I think all I'm gonna be able to do is just record some stuff and just put it up. So I'll try to do some stuff like that because I need to get back into Hogwarts Legacy and go on to finish that and stop playing around. And I need to finish Dunk Kong Bonanza. So and I forgot to say I did crack open my Daemon X Machina 2. Yeah, it has some problems, but I'm having way too much fun. I think the fun factor outweigh the problems right now, for me anyway. So yeah, I'll try to get some gameplay up of that too as well this week, so people can see that how it runs on the Switch too, and all of that jazz. So thanks you guys once again. Just check out the channel. I'll try to make sure I get some of that stuff uploaded this week. So be on the lookout for that. And we'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out, people.
Peace.